Mavericks versus Timberwolves game 1. Let's cash tonight, but first, recap of last night's picks. I dropped this 4-man. Halliburton did get ripped off the board by the time my video even got uploaded, but these other 3 guys cashed, and I did leave some replacement picks in the comments. So if you guys see something gone, make sure you're reading the comments, because I did give Drew Holiday over 22.5 PRA. Of course, that cashed. I also gave Halliburton under 8.5 assists, which didn't cash, but that was another line that did get bumped. And then this guy down here also asked me what is a good replacement prop. I said Tyrese Halliburton under 4.5 rebounds is also good, and that cashed. So I did see some comments and some messages that a couple of you were able to actually cash a 10x with the slip last night with replacing Tyrese Halliburton, so congrats to you. As for the second slip, we got this cash on the Tatum Pritchard stack. Pritchard was starting off hot. He got that 8 points and did not get a point for the rest of the game. And I said, guys, if this game is tighter than expected, it's Tatum that's going to be getting the minutes. Peyton Pritchard is not going to be playing OT, and that's exactly what happened. Tatum did not actually cash this prop until he went to OT, but then you could see in the end he got 36 points. Pritchard did not get any minutes, and that is why that's such a strong relationship between a bench player and a starter player. In these tighter games, which it was last night, there's going to be a massive discrepancy in minutes, and you're going to see exactly something like this happen, so that did cash there. Unfortunately, the Yankee stack did not do too hot. You could see they both got 1 hit, run plus RBI, but you could see how strong the correlation is here. They both went under instead of over in this case. Obviously, did not work out in our favor last night. And then the strategy I went for with the taco stack did not end up hitting because Tyrese Halliburton missed. I said that's worst case scenario is the second prop you take ends up missing. I think all the other tacos hit too, so you should have definitely cashed some money last night. In the example I used in the video, it did not cash. But we'll get onto the board for today. I do have 2 4-mans. Unfortunately, the MLB props are not on the board right now. There's a big glitch this morning where they're giving out props that should not be there. I'll show you in the discussion chat right here on the Discord. They were giving demon props as regular props, so we were able to take the unders on like RBI props. So this guy right here was able to take unders on the RBI props. Obviously, Prizepicks doesn't like that. They ended up voiding the entries because we can't have good things here. But anyways, we'll get onto the board. Today's video, I have NBA, WNBA, Esports, and NHL. So we're going to be making 2 4-mans right away. And the first player I'm liking today who just actually got bumped as I was filming this, it was Daniel Gafford on his under 8.5 points. It's like Prizepicks already knows that I was going to take this prop. He is already bumped down to 8. So thankfully, I could give you a replacement prop right away. That was my initial pick, but there's an easy workaround. I'm going to go over to his rebounds, assists instead. I'll show you why I was liking the points a bit more. But Gafford under 14.5 points plus rebounds is my first pick. If I shoot his last 5 graphs, I do not care. He has hit this in the past 4 to 5. But I'm expecting something a little different tonight. And since I'm grabbing Gafford on his under points rebounds, as you guys know, I like to stack this up with someone who is going to be assisting that ball. That's going to be Luka Doncic, of course, on his under 8.5 assists. Why? Because Gafford is one of those heavily assisted players. Go on NBA scoring and type in Gafford, you're going to see 78.9% of his field goals made are going to be assisted, which means if he is getting 10 points, for example, at least 8 of those points are going to be assisted, which means a potential 4 assists for Doncic. If you reverse that, if Doncic is not getting a lot of assists and not clearing his assist prop, it's more likely that Gafford goes under his points prop because he's not being distributed the ball from Doncic. And in this case, maybe Doncic is scoring more points, meaning he's holding the ball more, not distributing the ball to the rest of the teammates. Now, where does the rebounds come in? Honestly, it's just because the points line is just no longer good at 8 points. And the points is still a big portion of the points plus rebounds. But honestly, why I still like the points plus rebounds either way, if we go and check the juice on this play right here, Gafford has juice towards the under 14.5 points plus rebounds at minus 125. And if I show you his points, it's pretty similar here at minus 135. So the points prop is actually the better stack, but I'm okay with taking points plus rebounds because if we saw what happened last game in game 7 closeout game, let me show you the ESPN logs of the 4th quarter. I'm at the top here. I'm going to control find Gafford. You're going to see he did not play the full 4th quarter. Derek Lively was playing ahead of him in this case, and we might see something happen similar tonight. I was checking some projections, and RotoWire also believes this. You're going to see projected minutes at 22 minutes for Gafford, and if we type in Lively here, he's projected at 26 minutes. I think after Lively's great performance in the playoffs, you can see he was trusted more. He played the full 4th quarter ahead of Gafford, and Dallas came out with that win to close out the series. So if Gafford is playing less minutes, then he's going to have less opportunity for both points plus rebounds. We're expecting Lively to kind of get the minutes ahead of Gafford tonight. Now, normally I would do a triple stack on something like this with Derek Lively on the under 7.5 points because he is a very heavily assisted player too. But as I said, this doesn't make as much sense in this case because Gafford and Lively are kind of inversely correlated. The more Lively is playing, the less Gafford is playing, which means Lively should actually be going over his points prop if Gafford is going under his points prop. So in this case, I wouldn't make this stack, but you could go ahead and triple stack with PJ Washington, for example, who is a very heavily assisted player, even Derek Jones. But Derek Jones, honestly, he does have juice towards the over. I would not touch this. He's been absolutely popping off. Definitely don't throw Derek Jones under in this slip, but you might want to throw him on the over in some other slip because he has been doing quite well. And he does have juice towards the over here on the sportsbook, so minus 125 juice there. As for the juice for Doncic, he actually doesn't have juice towards the under or the over. I mean, slight edge towards the over at minus 116. But the reason I'm taking him in the entry is because, as you guys know, when I'm taking one player, I'm automatically thinking who is a good player to pair them up with. And this is a great pairing. Now we're hitting 2 players for the price of 1. Exactly like I showed you with the picks from last night. I was liking Tatum, for example, on the over points. I said, who does that pair nicely up with? Obviously, Peyton Pritchard on the under points. And that's what we're going for tonight. We're stacking these 2 guys together. I like to play my entries in pairs rather than just grabbing 6 random different players from different leagues. It doesn't go as well. Moving on to the WNBA, we're going to take another stack, and it's the exact same concept as this Doncic and Gafford stack. That's a bit less clear because I have way more data on NBA than WNBA, but I still think this is a decent stack. The player we're going with is Caitlin Clark on her under 6.5 assists. She has only hit this once in the regular season games, and she does have juice towards the under. And since I'm going with Clark's under assists, I'm thinking who does that pair nicely with, and that player is going to be Boston on her under 13.5 points. Now, at first, I didn't have stats to show you what percent of points are actually assisted, but I did find the site here, and you can see over 1,370 minutes on this Fever team. Boston does have 56.3% of her field goals made assisted. It's honestly not that crazy if you compare it to Gafford or anything. But that's still a decent chunk. At least 7 of her 14 points are going to be assisted, so that could be another 3 potential assists for Clark. So again, exact same concept to what we did with Doncic and Gafford. If Clark does not clear her assist line, it's also more likely that Boston does not clear her points line because she is the center and she does rely more on assists than maybe another position like a guard. Now, the reason I don't go with someone like Nelissa Smith or even Kelsey Mitchell is because if we go over to DraftKings, I'm taking these picks based on the juice, and you're going to see right here, Boston does have juice towards the under at minus 125. She's also been boosted. I'm pretty sure she was sitting at like 11.5 points throughout the season. She's already boosted to 13.5. I think that extra 1-2 points is definitely going to be in our favor. And you could see the sportsbooks do have juice towards the under. So that's good to see. In comparison to Nelissa Smith, who actually has juice towards the over at that 13.5 points. And Kelsey Mitchell's kind of flat at 16.5. Now, if we go over to the assist prop, you're going to also see Caitlin Clark does have juice. She actually just got more juice. She was at minus 120. Now she's at minus 125. I just changed right in front of us if you guys saw that. Minus 125 towards the under 6.5 assists. So great stack there. Same exact concept as Doncic and Gafford. We're going to lock this one as the first slip. And the next one is going to be very interesting. We're going over to CS2 and NHL. So to start off in CS2, we're going to go for this guy, LCM, on the under 13.5 map 1 kills. Make sure you're looking at this versus W7M game 1, because you can see here game 2, game 1, game 2. Make sure it's the 6 p.m. versus W7M game 1. Now, because this guy plays for solid, the correlation in CS2 is you're going to take the opponent on their under 2 if you're going to grab an under on this specific player. So under, or over. So since I like LCM's 13.5 prop, I'm going to go over to another player on the opposing team and grab the under 6.5 headshots on Stormzen here. The reason I choose a specific prop or these specific players is because I compare these lines to underdogs. So if I go over to LCM here, you can see set at 12.5 on this specific game versus W7M. We have them at 13.5. Now, we don't know who is correct on these lines, so Prizepicks or underdog. What we do know is that if we're grabbing a player like this, we might as well get the best value on all the DFS sites. And this is where the best value is. It's on Prizepicks at 13.5. You want to be taking the under in that case. Now, for Stormzen on underdog, he said at 11 kills and 6 headshots. You can see we're getting a kill of value on the actual map 1 kills, but only half a headshot of value on the headshots. But the reason I'm taking the headshots is because this is not a push line. Obviously, at 12.0, if this pushes, you revert down to a 3 power, which only pays 5x. I do not like that. Is not a good payout for 3-mans, because on underdog you get a 6x payout for the same exact thing. I've gone over the math multiple times, but 3-mans are not good on Prizepicks. 4-mans are better. So in this case, we don't want to revert down. On top of that, half a headshot is still worth as much as a kill. I think of getting an extra kill as like getting an extra point in the NBA versus getting an extra headshot is kind of like getting an extra assist. It's not a perfect comparison, obviously, but you could understand that getting an extra headshot is harder than getting an extra kill. So that's why you can't really value them the same. This specific game, we just want it to be shorter than expected. It's first to 13 in CS2, so hopefully it's something like a 13-2 or a 13-3 game. So that's going to give less opportunity for both these guys to go over their props, meaning they both go under, of course. Now, going over to the NHL, I'm targeting this goals allowed in first 10 minutes. You can see 1.3k people actually on this. In the NHL, there's going to be a lot of goals, so normally the over is the play, and you could check this on a sportsbook like Bet365. They actually do have this line, and you can see juice towards the over at minus 140 for there to be a goal in the first 10 minutes. So obviously you want to be on the over on Prizepicks. That is a great prop. This is the Eastern Conference Finals, Florida versus New York Rangers. It's going to be an interesting game. And since we're grabbing goals allowed in first 10 minutes, we know that has good value, good juice on the over. We could kind of pair this up with another prop. I'm going with Mika Zibanejad on the over half an assist. So obviously when you get an assist in hockey, there has to be a goal. So if there is this goal allowed in the first 10 minutes, if Zibanejad is on the other side of that goal, if the Rangers are scoring that goal, then he has a higher likelihood of getting that assist. So basically, if there is a goal in the first 10 minutes, that means you're guaranteed at least a goal. And there's a decent probability that Zibanejad is the assister of that goal. Now, normally I just wouldn't throw in a random player. Like technically you could go throw in Panarin or even Barkov, or even go over the points and grab Adam Fox. But the reason I'm going with Zibanejad specifically, you guys are going to see this last 5, you're going to love it here. He says it's in past 4 to 5. But the real reason is the juice on Pinnacle. Minus 131 juice on his over assists. Let me translate this into actual numbers. So we're going to go minus 131, minus 111, and you're going to see about a 51.88% chance that he goes over that assist prop. And that's going to be amplified by the fact that there might be a goal within the first 10 minutes. This is going to be the second slip, mix of CS2 and NHL. And then we also got that other slip with NBA and WNBA. Good luck, guys.